Welcome to your favorite podcast, the number one Tana Talk Soccer podcast.
Good day, everybody. I am the Tana Oruche, and I'm back again. Yeah, as always, but this time it's something different, but still similar. That is, yesterday I reached out to the public and asked them to get in touch, send me questions on anything really, any debates, topic, whatever football questions they have, they send it to me, and they did. So thank you guys for doing that as well. So now I'm here to answer, and obviously I can't make a ridiculously long podcast because I'm not sure I myself listen to ridiculously long podcasts. So I'm just going to answer a few of them, but it's going to be very interesting. There are a lot of tricky ones here, I must say. So let's get started. Alright. So where should I even start from? Okay, so I'll start from this. Mbappe versus Rashford and Dembele. Now this isn't difficult for me choosing the number one. Kylian Mbappe is the number one. Without the shout of a doubt, this guy isn't close. Find there are other talented youngsters in and around Europe who are maybe not far less talented than Mbappe, to be honest, if you look at his attributes. But the thing is, Mbappe has developed unbelievably as a top player at such a young age. In fact, he came developed at 18. The number of goals for scoring was insane. He scored 24 goals in about half the season for Monaco before he moved on loan to PSG before finalizing the move this season. So it's actually insane. And when you look at goal scoring, for example, goal scoring most time is learned. Like if you look at young stars over the years, they keep improving, their numbers keep improving. I can give an example, Raheem Sterling. Now, technically Sterling has improved, but not really. You still see him flopping some techniques, but although he's improving that, working that as well. But you could see over the years, you learn how to score goals, because goal scoring is all about movement, understanding the game, reading the game, knowing the spaces to move into and attack. So most times, people don't start off as brilliant goal scorers most times. They all have the attributes and say, okay, yes, this person can be a brilliant goal scorer. But more often than not, you learn the art of scoring goals. And when you see someone who comes in and is already banking a ridiculous amount, it is insane. Let's stop looking at the attributes and saying, okay, this guy is fast, this guy can dribble, this guy can dribble. It's not that Mbappe is already funny to sound, it's to sound funny, sorry, but a finished product at such a young age. So I'm not ruling out that in the future maybe him and Dembele or him and Rashford or Sané or all those guys will be on the same level in the future, maybe, but as it stands, Mbappe is a better player because he already looks like a finished product. And when you watch those guys, you're like, oh, these guys still have some way to go. Decision making, Mbappe is absolutely spot on in every single game. And as I said, the art of goal scoring is getting underrated nowadays, and it is length. Strikers will tell you it is length. You can't just come onto the scenes and just be scoring a ridiculous amount of goals. You over time, season by season, maybe when you start getting to your mid-20s, then you peak and then you start getting decent numbers because you have to learn to score. Even for midfield players as well, the attacking midfielders and all those guys, right from time you will see their attributes of how they can get into the box, the late runs into the box and stuff like that. You see the flair, everything has always been there actually. But still, over the years, as they keep on going and they keep on going, they keep on scoring more goals. And it isn't a coincidence because, as I said earlier, goal scoring is length. It is length. So from Mbappe, he just came with it. We felt like we were already watching a world-class player when he was 18. You get me? So Mbappe cleared. Then between Rashford and Dembele, actually, it's a very tough one because although Dembele kind of like, I don't know who has more of the hype, to be honest, but Rash has done pretty well for himself since he hasn't particularly entered a totally new level in terms of his returns and everything. But we believe he's improving as a player. Yeah, he is improving as a player. So second place we go to okay. In terms of who is more talented, I find Dembele more talented actually. But in terms of at the moment, I'll go with Marcus Rashford because of the fact that how do I put this? No, I'm not going with Rashford, sorry. Dembele is better player. I'll go with Dembele. Sorry for that. It has to be Dembele because he's more talented, and at the moment Rashford doesn't even have better returns than Dembele, and clearly Dembele is improving. As I said about Rashford is improving, but Dembele is getting into a whole new level where without Messi they can look to him. He takes the game by the stride and just does whatever he wants with it. So I'll go with Dembele. Yeah. So the next question is actually what is wrong with Man United and Pogba? Well, what I can say is, or what Manchester United need to do is a tricky one actually, because when you look at a club like Man United and you look at a club like Liverpool, for example, and everyone's talking about Manchester City, when you look at the two and then you take position by position, how many Manchester United players get into the Liverpool squad? Not to say a lot, but if at all any, extremely few. I mean, like the starting lineup was squad. If any, extremely few. And it's bad because it tells that Manchester United have been doing very bad recruiting, very bad business over the years. Because when you now look at the money spent over the years, they totally dwarf Liverpool. They don't even need to sell players. Obviously, Liverpool is getting to that stage right now. Manchester United right from them never needed to sell players just to bring any star into the team. And it just hasn't paid off, to be honest, in terms of purely football-wise. Obviously, commercially and all this other things, it's very brilliant for the club and they're doing well, to be honest. But football-wise, it just hasn't paid off, to be honest. And when you now look at it now, you now think about the amount of money you spent over the years. It's ridiculous, to be honest. I tell you, very ridiculous. Because so many managers have come in, done different things, and it just hasn't worked really. And when you ask, but this team is actually good. The squad is actually good. They have so many players. The squad costs so million. It is so deep. It is so. That is all true. But maybe the recruitment team actually got it wrong. Maybe these players aren't actually as football-y as football-y. Oh my goodness, what's that? But they're not as good football-wise as people thought. Yes, they actually have the ability, but they are just not consistent enough. And consistency is part of being a good footballer. I tell you, if a player can reach maybe like 100% twice a season, but a player can reach 60% every single day of the season, the player who reaches 60% every single day of the season is a better player. But some people don't know that, they don't take that into consideration. And when that guy hits 100%, people are like, wow, this is the reason why this guy is the best player. And nobody says anything until 10 months after, when he reaches 100% again and again, and everybody's like, oh wow, this guy did this, he's the best player. No, darling, no. Consistency matters a lot, and I think Manchester United players absolutely lack that. So I think for Manchester United, they will need, the recruitment needs to be better. And obviously, the manager and the recruitment team, like, being privileged to watch all or nothing Manchester City, that club is done brilliantly well. And the manager's philosophy flows through everybody, Al Mubarak, Tixi, everybody at the football club, and that's what Manchester United need to do. So Ed Woodward obviously has been someone who has been slated multiple times, and everybody just calls him a businessman and he's not football inclined. But in all fairness to Ed, the players he brought in kind of had hype about them, and if you don't really scrutinize things a lot, there are a lot of players you think are superbly brilliant, who particularly aren't, you understand? That's because of like the general hype around and everything. So, and Ed certainly isn't a football analyst. So I don't know if that's true, but then if it's just a business guy, then I think they actually need to get in someone who actually understands the game. And the person needs to share the same philosophy as the manager. It is extremely important very important that the person shares the same philosophy as the manager, and everybody working in the team, the analysis, because it is very important. Because as Klopp said, it's not even him that recommended the Mo Salah signing. Klopp was a big fan of William Brand, but then it was his staff, the people like, you have to get this guy. This guy will work in your system. And imagine your staff telling you that a player will work brilliantly in your system. That shows that the philosophy, everything that's passed through the club is running in the club vein. Like, yeah, it is, to be honest. So everybody already knows, and even when the manager doesn't even quite get something or quite people who walk around and they bought into the philosophy and they understand it like it's their own, so they can now make decisions and make the right decisions. So I think recruitment for Manchester United can be very good, but there's no excuse why you spend almost 800 or even exceed in excess of 800 million or thereabout, and still, since Sir Alex Ferguson left, and still you've never even been able to challenge for one league title.
Okay, you know.
Since then, I didn't say win. Obviously, Manchester United are massive, so they ought to win the league titles, but at least challenge. It is disappointing. So that shows that the players are actually not good enough, in my opinion. But then they still have the, so it's just terrible recruitment. There's no one to blame for that. You can't blame anybody really. Mourinho spends his money, everybody spends. So I just think they need to get better footballers around, and probably people who care about football more, because I'm not like saying these players don't care about football. That would be very wrong of me. I know they work very hard, but they need to put in more hard work on the pitch. They need more legs. Because I'll give an example. Kevin De Bruyne, my own best player in the Premier League, is absolutely brilliant. Such, like, technically on the ball, like the best passer in the league, but then when it comes to hard work, he dies on the pitch. You look at Mo Salah, a forward who isn't physical, who isn't everything, but when there's danger, he will run any length of the pitch too. So I don't know, man. But and as for Paul Pogba, I think Pogba, if I was Pogba, I would stay. But it all depends on what is happening at Manchester United. I can't exactly say what is the right or wrong decision, because Pogba can go to a better team, a better players, and continue winning. And I can't advise against that. You understand? And I'm not saying Pogba is like a saint in the Man United team. No, him too is part of the reasons why they are where they are. He's also one of the most consistent players in that squad as well. So it's all a mix up. But for him personally, it's a personal decision. Even bad players or average players go to bigger clubs and win trophies and play. So I don't really have an answer to what Pogba should do. But if concerning Pogba, what Man United should do concerning Pogba, you should try and keep him. Because he's actually a brilliant player. You should try and keep him. He's actually a brilliant player, but he's not dependable. But you should try and keep him, to be honest. So on to the next question. Lacazette versus Bobby Firmino. Why do you have to ask me this? Well, what I would say is Lacazette is the better goal scorer than Firmino. He's capable of getting you more goals in a season. And apart from that, he also knows how to finish better than Firmino. That's different kind of finishes, the half turns, the volleys. The Firmino scores spectacular goals as well, but Lacazette has more finishes to his game. He also knows how to get into the goal scoring positions better than Firmino. Like Lacazette offers you more goals than Firmino, clearly. I know this season he has about 13, Firmino has about 12 in the Premier League. And that's because Lacazette and Aubameyang, so Lacazette has had to embrace his other side more. But still, even still, give the two of them the same number of games and all, you expect Lacazette to score more. Now, Bobby Firmino's all-round play is better than Lacazette's. His hold-up play, his dribbling in the middle of the park, his walk rate is second to none, apart from maybe a certain Jordan Ayew, but then he's arguable. So it's a very tough one, to be honest. But I think I will go with Firmino. Reason being that, to me, I will go with a draw. I actually genuinely will go with a draw. But if I'm to edge towards someone, I'll edge towards Bobby Firmino, just because of the work rate and the Brazilian flair. Note that Lacazette has work rate as well, and because of the influence on the team now, Liverpool play through Firmino. Firmino is the most important player. The way Mane and Salah operate everybody. So Firmino is sort of, the team is so dependent on Bobby Firmino. And as for Arsenal, Lacazette is very brilliant, as I've praised him already. But Liverpool without Firmino, especially in certain types of games, he's a totally different player, really. And when he comes on, everyone around him is better. But to be very honest, this right now I'm talking about now is personal preference. I think I love them both and I rate them both equally. And given that Firmino is actually not a centre forward, but obviously he has to accommodate that role for clubs. So as I said, it's very clear that this is a better goal scorer and a better finisher and all. But as a footballer generally and as a striker, Firmino is moving to that role. He's starting to get goals and maybe similar numbers to what Lacazette has been getting since arriving in the Premier League. But still, I'll go for a tie. I don't want to go for it. Rashford versus Mbappe. Really? Rashford versus Mbappe? Mbappe, of course. Like, oh my goodness. You don't have to ask me questions like this. But then it's still a good question. Kylian Mbappe, there's absolutely no comparison. None at all. Antonio Rudiger versus Kurt Zouma. La Zuma. First of all, Zuma is a better dancer. Yeah, Zuma and Pogba, when they do them dances, it's actually so cool. So, well, as for Antonio, I think I'll go with Antonio Rudy because Rudy was very fantastic in AS Roma and came to Chelsea, and all fairness to him, he has been a good signing. And also in Germany too, he's also cemented his spot in the centre back of the national team. So I'll go with Rudy, but then Kurt is actually a very good prospect, to be honest. And I expect him to be at Chelsea next season, and I expect him to be playing, to be very honest. Now, best keeper in the EPL and the world at the moment. Best keeper in the world at the moment is Jan Oblak, because you look at the people like Marc-Andre ter Stegen, first of all, in the La Liga. Oblak is better than him. Marc-Andre ter Stegen is absolutely unbelievable, if you ask me. He saves, he pulls off, just like what De Gea has been doing in the Premier League for so many years. That's what ter Stegen now does in the La Liga, so it's absolutely unbelievable, to be very honest with you. But still, I believe Oblak is better because Oblak is capable of pulling off more impossible saves, and he has done it for longer. This is just the Stegen's second season doing it. Like, I think some people who don't want to give Mo Salah full credit for what he has done over the past 24 months, but want ter Stegen to take the throne. The two can't go really, but I'll give Mo Salah the credit, and I'll give ter Stegen the credit, to be honest. I'll give both of them the credit because they're very brilliant players and they've done it for long enough, to be honest. But Oblak is doing the same or better and has done it for longer, and his team faces a lot more shots and a lot of more pressure is on him than ter Stegen, and he still does the job and still keeps them clean sheets. So I'll go for Jan Oblak as the best goalkeeper in the La Liga and in the world. And Jan Oblak versus David De Gea, they've done it for similar time, but then in the last 18 months, or let me say 12 months, David De Gea has not been anything to write home about. He's had some games where he rolled back let me not say rolled back the years, but showed the real David De Gea how brilliant he can be. But they've been few and far between. He's made so many errors leading to goals this season, and also it's just not good enough. And even from the World Cup, and Oblak has continued, so I have to give it to Jan Oblak as that. And the best goalkeeper in the EPL at the moment, you still have to give it to David De Gea, because for the last 5-6 years it's been too unbelievable. I don't know why he's not even in discussion for the best player in the Premier League, or why he's not even. This guy basically, without him, Man United would be in a totally different battle. Like last season, you could see the saves level and all. Like he was up with the small team keepers, the relegation. You could see shots conceded. Manchester United were also in and around the teams in relegation, and then they finished second. So let's even forget that the strikers scored goals and the midfielders got them assists and did their job. Look, like without David De Gea, I don't know if Man United would have finished in the top 6 that season. I don't want to say they would have finished in the second half of the table, but still, it's actually a very fantastic thing he does. So I'll give it to David De Gea. So this guy here, Manchester United DNA. Please, I'm thinking, what is the Manchester United DNA? Okay, this guy here actually know him personally, and he detests that thing, the DNA. Well, I'll go this way. Manchester United DNA. First, the club's DNA is the identity of the football club. That is the DNA, and any manager who comes in obviously has his own philosophy, but it has to be in line with the DNA. I'll give you a pure example. You can see a club like Barcelona. We all know what their DNA is. Now, Valverde has come in. Valverde is more pragmatic in his nature. He takes less risks going forward, but still, the DNA is the important, the emphasis laid on keeping the ball, emphasis laid on dominance on the ball. That is Barcelona's DNA, and no matter what happens, it cannot be taken from them. It is football club Barcelona, and it will always be that way. No matter, even if the coach was like, we saw MSN as well, faster breaks, less dominance in midfield, less contributions from midfield. It was almost all about Messi, Suarez, Neymar. We saw the second season and third season already. The pressing became poorer, more expansive, but still that dominance on the ball. Now, it is impossible to ever see a Barcelona side willfully surrender the ball to you, and wait for you to come at them and counter-attack. They wouldn't do that. And if by chance you dominate the ball against Barcelona, they didn't willfully let you have it. If by chance, although that is rare for any team in the world, you hardly see any game Barcelona come out of and they're dominated. But if at all that happens, then it was forced, not willfully. So you would never ever see Barcelona willfully give you the ball to dominate. So every team has their DNA. Not every team, to be honest, but certain teams have their DNA. So many teams can't get that because of their lack of structure, lack of history over the years. Everything's so scattered. So there's no particular identity with that club. So that's what it is. And for Manchester United DNA, I can say attacking football, you have to be positive. That's first of all, you have to be positive. And another thing is you have to be elite mentally. You have to have that mentality, and that's something that should be the DNA of any big club who have won over the years, who are part of the prestigious group of maybe top 10 clubs or top 7 clubs in the world. You have to have that mentality. That badge is very heavy. So when you see a player who is as talented, who fits into the philosophy of maybe attacking football, defensive football, whatever, and has that mentality as well, you can see the DNA in people. Like, you look at someone like Marcus Rashford, for example. You can see the confidence he plays with. He's not afraid. He takes every situation, every stage. He takes on every stage, the World Cup, the Euro, whatever it is, the Champions League. And he might not be brilliant. He's not always brilliant, to be very honest. I'm a big critic of the guy because he's not always brilliant actually, but still. That's what I'm talking about, that mentality not to shy away from it, because over the years you see them legends, you see the games where they've come back in so many different games, and when you see a Manchester United team that lack belief, that lack that identity, that collapse mentally, sorry, but they don't have the Manchester United DNA. Even if a game is not going well, you expect to see fighters on the pitch, because that's what Manchester United is all about, and that's what DNA is actually all about. So another question here which is very, very interesting, Sterling versus Kylian Mbappe. I will go with Kylian Mbappe, because Kylian Mbappe, this is his third season running doing it. As funny as it sounds, he's still 20, and this is Sterling's second season doing it. And Sterling is also in a very fantastic position. But when you look at what Mbappe has done, when you also look at what he did on the world stage, because we talk about the league, we call it Farmers League, but look at his record in the World Cup, in the Champions League. His record in the Champions League, as such, it is insane, Kylian, and you can see how he's clearly above the level of League One. It's very hard for you to say that he's clearly above that level in the League One. Then that just shows how good he is. To be honest, just 30 goals this season. Sterling hasn't in the League One. Sterling has never reached 30 goals for competitions. You see what Mbappe did at the World Cup again. Mbappe was arguably the best player at that World Cup. Arguably, I tell you. Let's forget his 4 goals in the tournament. His performances were the heavy number 10 shirts at Mbappe. I go with Mbappe, but then Raheem Sterling is doing great for himself, very good for himself. I have no bad words against Raheem Sterling, no bad words against him. And if it continues, probably soon they will be on par. But I'll go with Kylian Mbappe. Let's look for the next question. Okay, so will Hazard start in this current City team, and who will he bench? Eden Hazard will start in this current City team, and if they have him, it's not compulsory he starts, you understand? that's just because of how good the team is. But if you're looking at what they have already, you fancy Eden Hazard to start in the City team. He can keep Sané out. He can keep Raheem Sterling out, to be honest. At the end of the day, it depends on what Guardiola wants. But sadly, there are all different kinds of players. Luckily for Guardiola, if he has Hazard, so he has the options to choose maybe by the games or as the games come and can adjust tactically. But then you know Sané is very exclusive. One way running at you with pace. Hazard is more composed and calm. The best dribbler in the world, in my opinion. Yeah, Leo Messi exists, but then Hazard is, well, both of them anyway. Both of them. But he's up there, that's just the point. So Hazard will start, and this season again, his numbers have been really good and been better than they've ever been. So we obviously hope it's not a fluke. Obviously, I don't think so. So I expect him to start in the City team because it's very dangerous and everything. Hazard is a fantastic footballer, and he starts in the City team. But as the way things are right now, even though Leroy Sané, I'm a big fan, he offers everything. I don't know why he's on the bench. But the fact that Guardiola has just shown that Sané, I would not say means nothing, but it's just not. I just never made Sané that guy who starts every game. For his own reason, Hazard walks into that spot. He walks into it. Yeah, easily. And even if Sané was playing still fancy Hazard over, but because Sané offers something differently, and you look at the way Pep Guardiola wants to play and might want to play, using Sané as that outlet to launch the ball into him and take on the defenders and move the game and everything, then you might want to overthink it. But on the face of things, Hazard will be there. So it's Hazard, Aguero, and Raheem. Haha. So pew. So what do you think Manchester United do at this point, seeing as the only problem isn't the quality of the players but their attitude and inconsistency? Would you advise a massive clear out or a gradual change? What's to say the new players won't come in and develop the same problem? In short, what do you think United should do at this point to make them compete again? I actually discussed about it before. The person that asked me a question earlier had something very similar to this. As I said, they just need to improve their recruitment to me. Because for the money they spend is very bad. Like you look at Manchester City, for example, even before Pep Guardiola came in and Manchester City became so unbelievably good, then Pellegrini and then Mancini were winning trophies, and that's because they were investing in good players. So these managers too are good managers, and I keep saying it, like this Manchester City team, even without a coach, certainly they can't fall out of the top four. They are that good. And when you look at the money spent, United is just it's the same general level. It's disappointing that you look at Man City and look at the players they have, and we're just like, wow, United fans are all like, wow. They feel like they're not on the same level, and rightly so. They are the quality of football. But then you now look at the money spent, the investment in the team, and they're really on par, really. So poor investment, I think a lot of things need to be considered as well before you go buy a player. I don't know. You can watch him, you can follow him. The mentality is also very important. So Manchester United players, and I don't know, but still the recruitment I feel is the main problem. Because when you buy a player, you expect a lot from him. The fans, the manager, he doesn't perform. He continues showing his inconsistent. The manager loses faith in the player, and once that happens, you begin to see the player cannot put his line on the body for the manager, cannot work his heart out. Because I saw Shaqiri say something in December saying they would do anything to bring back the trophy for Jurgen Klopp, and that just shows that faith in the. And he doesn't play a lot, Shaqiri, but that just shows when you have a player who the manager is convinced in, who he has faith in, who even if he plays 2 minutes every game, but anytime he puts him out, a lot of there's that faith. And when there's faith in the player, and the relationship is maintained. Because once there's no faith there, everything breaks out. You just look at like you can't trust him. So that's the problem. I still go back to the main thing, recruitment. When you recruit good and consistent footballers, what problem can the manager probably have with you unless you're unprofessional, which is nothing I can have a say about. But once you're a good footballer, you're consistent, and your manager keeps giving you instructions, executing them, and everything is fantastic. You can't possibly fall out with your manager. So who deserves to be third and fourth after Messi and Ronaldo? Neymar or Mbappe or Hazard. And the person even went further to say even Sterling is in the picture stats wise. Well, what I can say is I'm not quite sure this year Cristiano Ronaldo deserves to be second or even be in the top 3. Don't get me wrong, he's had a fantastic season at Juve, to be honest. The goals, the assists, the Champions League, the Juve team this season just haven't been up to standard or up to what we expected, to be honest. But he's done his part and he's not played every game, obviously his age, and they got knocked out of the Champions League early. They've obviously got the Super Coppa Italia and stuff, but he's done well personally. He can go on to win the Golden Boots in Italy for his first season, which is actually fantastic. So a lot of players go through problems adapting to new football clubs, but he hasn't done that. He hasn't gone through that in particular. He's doing okay. So this is no disrespect to Ronaldo. I actually think he has done brilliantly well because he's a new team, a new league, a new environment at that age, and that just shows his quality really. Like he's still like the best player in the league, necessarily. So it's fantastic. But it's actually a very difficult choice. I think Raheem Sterling has a chance, to be honest, and Virgil van Dijk has a chance. This guy's in the Premier League. I think this is just the real chance for them to get into the top 3 really, because Kylian Mbappe as well, what he's doing in France is very brilliant. If Mbappe by chance, because Barcelona have the Champions League, so Messi wouldn't be playing a lot of games. So you might actually think Mbappe might even win the European Gold Edition. If he does, he certainly comes in there. Neymar, no, because of his injuries, and then really the season is over and they've gone out the Champions League, they've won the league, everything without him. So Eden Hazard, no, not this year. This is actually a very interesting year, I tell you, because we might be up for some surprises. We might be up for some surprises, to be honest. Maybe we might see a Liverpool player or a Manchester City player in there, but I think Messi and Mbappe for me. Any more questions? Now, on this note, this is all I selected actually to answer, and 30 odd minutes have gone already. That shows I spent my time analyzing and giving detailed answers to each and every question you guys asked. Love you guys. Bye. I'll be back soon.